to introduce to you Professor Ismail Simbwa Jagenda, the rector who assumed office at the Islamic University in Uganda on 1st January 2021. He was born on June 16, 1956 in Tendero, Shema district, and he graduated from Makerere University in 1979 with a first-class BA honors in literature and religious studies. He holds a concurrent diploma in education, and he was also the chairman at his time of the Muslim Students Association in Makerere. From 1988 to 2016, he obtained his master's in education administration and supervision from the University of District of Columbia, Washington, D.C. in 1989. Ladies and gentlemen, Your Excellencies, he joined as an assistant professor at a graduate teacher program at Tiffit College of Education in Mercer University, Atlanta campus, where he taught from 2001 to 2016. He is known for his scholarly works, he is known for his administrative duties, and he is married and blessed with 6 children. His hobbies include reading and recreation, soccer. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the rector of the Islamic University in Uganda, Professor Dr. Ismail Simbwa Jagenda, to come and make his remarks. Thank you.
Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulillahi sallallahu alayhi wasallam. We thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for his ni'mah of good life, of health. May his salawat and barakat be on the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Your Excellency, the Assistant Secretary General, Humanitarian, Culture and Social Services of OIC, the Permanent Representative of the Royal Kingdom of Saudi Arabia to OIC, Your Excellency, the Director General, International Union of Muslim Scouts, and other dignitaries from OIC, different agencies, the Mufti of Uganda, represented by the Deputy Mufti, Your Excellencies, ambassadors, diplomatic corps, members of parliament, local leaders, my management, staff, students, and the general public. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today is a historic day. This week has been a historic week. For the first time in the history of Islamic University in Uganda, which is now 34 years old, the Secretariat of OIC has put its light on IUIU, Islamic University in Uganda. Over the past few days, we have had several meetings connected to Islamic University in Uganda. On Wednesday, the management committee of King Fahd Plaza, which is our only endowment now, Waqf, sat. The following day, the University Council sat, chaired by His Excellency Mr. Faisal Abdulaziz Azamel, who hails from Kuwait. We sat in Mbale. The following day, yesterday, over 2,200 young Muslims and non-Muslims from all over the world graduated and joined the world to shape it, to be part of the transformation with the knowledge, skills, and attitudes that they have learned, they've gotten from IUIU. And today, That ceremony was headed, the graduation was headed by the chairman, but also represented by the Secretary General, by the Assistant Secretary General, Science and Technology, Ambassador Askar Masinov. Today, the Secretary General is being represented by the Assistant Secretary General, Humanitarian, Cultural and Social Services, Ambassador Tariq Ali Bakhit. So, OIC has sent 2 distinguished members of the top echelons to be here with us, one after the other. Takbir! Takbir! I don't know what is more important. Is it education or culture? I don't know. I think they are the same level, because if you don't know who you are, then why are you studying? And when you study when you don't know who you are, then it means you can be anything. So yesterday, education was stressed. Today is culture. It's up to you to tell us whether one is more important than the other. As far as I'm concerned, both of them are key to making a human being. And for us Muslims, Islamic culture is non-negotiable. Non-negotiable. We are Muslims, that is it. End of the story. But that doesn't mean that we also don't love the others. Of course, in Uganda, we have Christians in different denominations, and we live side by side in peace. So, we are here to say that we are Muslims and we have different cultures. When you see me dressed like this is the way a Muganda man, Muslim, dresses, especially when they are going for nikah. You know, that's the most important time. So you go like this to beg somebody for the hands of their daughter. For me, I'm already spoken for. Dr. Warda is not here, but I'm allowed 3 others, but that's a different story. But this is the way we dress when we are going for marriage. When you go like this, they know that you're a Muslim Muganda or Muslim Ugandan, because sometimes we borrow from each other. So Sudanese, our kanzu is different. It is doesn't have big arms, because the weather here is a bit cooler. But also this dress is interesting because we are very creative. When the Arabs brought the kanzu, we took it. Then the British brought the coat. We said, why bother? Let us just join the two. And so we got the kanzu from the Arabs and the coat from the British. You will never find a British man dressed like this. And you'll never find an Arab dressed like this. This is Buganda. Very creative. And of course, you know the importance of this one. I don't have to talk about it. So, very creative. But the Nigerians became a little bit more, curious. For them, they created their own, and you'll see it. And the Sudanese decided that the small arms are not good. The big ones are better. And so forth and so forth. You are going to see this creativity as you go around. You are going to see zinzimia, like the one my grandmother used to have. You know, my grandmother was a very different human being. Allah arhamha. Fatima would come to our home, which is a home of an imam, because my father was an imam, and she would come with her own brick. And one day I asked her, are we Catholics? Why are you coming with your own brick? We have brick. Then she said, Ismail, leave me alone. I have to come with my own brick because I don't trust that you'll be, So that is the Muslim culture at that time. They would come with their own bricks because they wanted to make sure that the time of Salah, there is no excuse. She would put the water and keep the brick with her. You know, then you are going to walk around and you are going to see all kinds of interesting artifacts. And then we have guests here who are going to show us Islamic calligraphy. You know, how do you write those beautiful Quranic verses in very artistic way, in a way that inspires the soul? They've come all the way from Morocco, and the head, who is the chief, who is in sits in Turkey, is also here. So we welcome all our international guests. There are over 20 international guests have come to partake of this. But Your Excellencies, our students, the scouts, you have already seen how the scouts have taken over my university beautifully, led by my professor, Katerega, who taught me how to be a good man and a good Muslim a long time ago when I met her at Makerere University. Professor Katerega, I want to thank you. So that is my speech. It is coming from the heart. It is not written. I know some people are saying, well, why is he just talking? I mean, it is from my heart. Is that a problem? I'm speaking from my heart to all of you, and also to thank OIC for having chosen Uganda and IUIU to tell people that we are Muslims and we are different, but we are Muslims. The Somalis dress differently from the Nigerians, but we are all Muslims. The Baganda Muslims dress from the Banubi differently, but we are all Muslims. Diversity, unity in diversity. Unity in diversity. We all believe in La ilaha illallah, all of us. And so I don't want to take much time. The theme is culture, education, and development, experiences from the Muslim world. And the sponsors are OIC, Organization of Islamic Conference, Directorate of Humanitarian, Cultural and Social Services, as well as Islamic University in Uganda. I want to thank the Secretariat, the Secretary General, and the visitors, the Assistant Secretary General, Humanitarian, Culture and Human Resources, the permanent representative of the Royal Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and all the other international guests who are here, including my friend, Professor Osman Murzi Kobo, who came all the way from Paris, where he was on sabbatical, but actually is domiciled in Ohio State University as a professor of Islamic history. He's the one really who is going to come and talk. I should leave talking to the people who know what to talk. And for me, I must thank my team, led by Dr. Halima Akbar, the academic registrar, who took on this committee organizing this, and we were led by officials from Jeddah, the two young men. If you don't mind, come here, please, and stand with me.
Happy to be here with you, brothers and sisters. It's a pleasure to be among you, to participate in this great event. But the whole credit goes to the Islamic University of Uganda. They have done a tremendous effort to get this event happen, and you are all welcome to this event.
What's your name?
My name is Hussein Ghazwi. I'm Director of Culture at the OIC. Thank you.
Thank you very much for all. My name is Galib Husseinov. I also work for Cultural Affairs Department in OIC.
With guidance and arguments and budgets and all that. So all this effort is really the two working together, OIC and IUIU, over many hours of work. And we are here today. Tomorrow we come back here until 1 o'clock. And then in the evening, invited guests will be at Africana Hotel to do the finale. So I welcome you, and now I have the honor to, I think, let me leave it to the organizers. Let me not mess up the program. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Welcoming the Assistant Secretary General for the Humanitarian, Cultural and Social Affairs under the OIC, His Excellency Tariq Ali Bakhet. You're welcome, sir.
Excellency, the representative of the Ministry of Youth and Sports of the Government of Uganda, Professor Ismail, Rector of the Islamic University in Uganda, Your Excellencies, distinguished guests and delegates, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Allow me first, on behalf of the OIC Secretary General, Excellency Hussein Ibrahim Taha, to express my great pleasure for being here in this beautiful city of Kampala to attend with you this August gathering. So, Mr. Professor Ismail, this statement is from the Secretary General, although it's a written speech, but it's from the heart of the OIC Secretary General. I would like to begin by expressing my profound thanks to the leadership of the Islamic University of Uganda for collaborating with the OIC and for working hard to make this unique cultural event happen. I also want to seize the opportunity to convey the General Secretary's sincere gratitude to the government, the Republic of Uganda, the host country, for the continuous support extended to OIC, and particularly to the Islamic University in Uganda, to enable it to carry out its noble duty of training future leaders and making them good citizens willing to contribute to the development of their homeland. As an affiliated organ of the OIC, I take satisfaction at the commendable work carried out by the Islamic University in Uganda, and I would particularly express my appreciation to His Excellency Professor Ismail, Rector of the University, for his strong sense of leadership and his dedication to uphold the values of Islamic education and culture. The significant work carried out by IUIU is noted, commended, and appreciated. The programs and activities undertaken by IUIU, as well as the outstanding service to the cause of promoting knowledge in the Islamic world, which integrates Islamic values with modern knowledge across all disciplines, are examples of such effective IUIU work. Indeed, the contemporary global crisis, especially in the Muslim world and the region of the OIC geography, have shifted the attention once again to the question of education and its prior contribution to finding the right answers to critical problems. In this regard, IUIU can play a significant role as a leading center of excellence in education, research, and innovation throughout the region in this dynamic of offering quality education and training to Ugandans and African youth in general to build their capacities and reinforce their talents. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, one of the priorities of the OIC General Secretariat is to promote, encourage, and work for more cultural exchange among member states. Such exchange would definitely contribute to enriching our common heritage within the Muslim Ummah and filling the cultural gaps and misunderstandings between Muslims and non-Muslims. We thus hope that this cultural activity will serve as a good example of what should be done to create cultural spaces, multiple interaction venues, and optimal outreach channels to connect Muslim communities within the OIC bigger family. While involving other non-Muslim communities in this positive dynamic of mutual understanding and cooperation. It is obvious that cultural diversity has been recognized as a significant factor for sustainable development and is now being seen as a fundamental element with an important role to play in poverty eradication and the protection and conservation of cultural and historical heritage. Cultural diversity, composed of the wealth of languages, ideas, religions, kinships, customs, and traditions, artistic works, rituals, and other creative expressions, has been a major factor of development. It is also a dynamic process within which cultural change can best be managed through intercultural dialogue. Projecting a true image of our civilization and protecting its values and heritage are also among the main priorities, objectives of the OIC agenda. In this regard, we aim to develop the Islamic University through cultural cooperation between our member states. At the same time, we aim to connect with and assist culturally the Muslim communities and minorities outside the member states as a way to encourage mutual understanding and dialogue with other cultures and share common aspects and the diversities of our heritage towards building constructive dialogues with peoples worldwide. I'm confident that such lofty objectives will be only set in the light of day with the necessary support of our member states. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, the OIC believes that education and science are the main tools for human development and well-being, and thus have to be at the top of our agenda and plans of actions. The progress and prosperity of societies also always depend on their investment in education and scientific research. There is a need to equip the youth, women, and children, vulnerable segments of society with proper education and scientific knowledge. Having access to education is not only a necessity, but also the right of every person. In today's world, science and technology offer answers to shared threats of poverty, spread of diseases, climate change, food and water security, among others. Science and technology can also help us in seizing common opportunities in promoting peace and sustainable development. Recognizing this imperative, the first OIC Summit on Science and Technology, held in September in 2017 in Kazakhstan, adopted a 10-year program of action, the OIC Science and Technology and Innovation STI Agenda 2026, which makes recommendations with specific targets for the development of science, technology, and innovation in the Muslim world. Ladies and gentlemen, since the beginning of 2020, the world troubled by COVID-19 pandemic, which had put the entire humanity into serious trouble at levels with expected long-term social, cultural, economic, and political impacts on all segments of our societies, particularly on youth. The engagement of youth at local, national, and global levels has proven to be the most indicative way towards the required concerted global action to effectively address the vast majority of challenges that humanity currently faces, as COVID-19 outbreak and the fight against radicalization and violence. I'm glad to inform you that within the framework of supporting youth, the OIC has adopted the OIC Youth Strategy with significant sustainable policies for the empowerment of youth. The OIC General Secretariat stands thus ready cooperation with all member states as well as institutions and partners working in the field of youth and leadership in many activities that would contribute to strengthening youth capabilities and activating their role in the Islamic world. Finally, I wish also on behalf of OIC Secretary General to express and to wish access to the distinguished IUIU and the leadership, students, and all staff members for their efforts and contributions to the success of this important event. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.